morning. This is smartwatchspecifications.com, the premier site for smartwatch specs, news, and reviews. Okay, we have here the two latest smartwatch from No.1. So we have here, as you can see, these two smartwatches are all rugged smartwatches. We have here on our right is the No.1 F5 and on our left is the No.1 F6. So we're going to have a comparison review of the smartwatches. All of the smartwatches, before I start with our comparison, is available at gearbest.com. I think they have a deal right now for No.1 F6 smartwatch. So okay, so let's start. Okay, let's have the No.1 F5 first. We have here the No.1 F5 smartwatch. Okay, rugged, sporty type smartwatch. And on our right side, we have the No.1 F6. It is also a rugged smartwatch, sporty rugged smartwatch with a TPU strap. As you can see here, very obvious. The No.1 F6 has a much bigger size and screen, while for the No.1 F5, it is more of a sporty with a small or lesser size compared to the No.1 F6. But on the screen, the measurement of the screen, they are all the same. They are all OLED screen. Okay, and No.1 F5 do have a much smaller screen, only 0.95 inch, while the No.1 F6 do have a 0.96 inch. So just a fraction, the difference just a fraction. Okay, both are OLED, but for the No.1 F5, it has a color OLED screen. For the processor, the No.1 F5 uses the NRF52832 processor, while for the No.1 F6, it is using the NRF51822 processor. Okay, going back to the design, the No.1 F6 do have at least 4 physical buttons with touch key support. For the No.1 F5, it has 2 physical buttons here with a touch key support also. Let me check. Okay, let me show you. Okay, it's on the top, while for the No.1 F6, it's on the bottom part of the screen. If you're going to ask me when it comes to design, the No.1 F6 do have a much better look, but it's much more bulkier compared to the No.1 F5 that is much more slimmer, lightweight, and it will look good on someone with a smaller wrist. Okay, for the battery, we have, for the No.1 F5, we have 380 mAh stand battery, lithium polymer battery with a standby time of 30 days. While for the No.1 F6, it is much better when it comes to managing the battery life with 350 mAh and standby time is 120 days. 50 days of normal usage. For the waterproof feature, the No.1 F5 do have the IP67 Life waterproof, while for the No.1 F6 we have IP68 waterproof. So you can use this one for swimming up to 50 meters of if underwater. Okay, for the sensors, the edge goes to the No.1 F5. It has a heart rate monitor, pedometer, as well as a built-in GPS. So if you want to work out, go somewhere else, you have an activity outdoor, running, cycling, and you don't want to bring your smartphone with you, you can use the built-in GPS of your No.1 F5. For the No.1 F6, we have pedometer and heart rate monitor also. But this one looks more rugged compared to the No.1 F5. If you're into outdoor also, swimming, running, the No.1 F6 will suit you. Okay, so let's check out the menus of each smartwatch. Okay, so here's the display screen, the time. Here is for the No.1 F6. Okay, again, check out. The heart rate motor is inside. This one we have a message. Okay, the sport. Here is the temperature for the No.1 F5. It has a barometer. What else? Altimeter for the No.1 F5. When it comes to features, the No.1 F6 do have a limited number of sensors as well as sport features compared to the No.1 F5, with several features including a thermometer, altimeter for this one, and a built-in GPS. The No.1 F6 don't have a built-in GPS. But in terms of user friendliness, the points goes to the No.1 F6. It's very easy to use. The screen is very responsive, as well as the battery life, okay, compared to the No.1 F5. But when I go outdoors, especially I go somewhere else, fishing, cycling, running, I use the No.1 F5 smartwatch. Okay, but it depends upon your activities. You can use the No.1 F6 for other activities also. If you're just running or walking, use the No.1 F6. But either way, they are all great smartwatches, cool looking smartwatches, and very affordable. Okay, again, if you have any questions regarding these two smartwatches, just check our previous video or drop a comment below. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on our Facebook page, or visit us at our website smartwatchspecifications.com. Goodbye.